Okay, so there's been a lot of hate surrounding a certain Scooby-Doo character that I hold close to my heart, and since no one else is sticking up for him, I will. Some people may find him annoying, or repetitive, or Mary Sue-like, but I'm here to show the haters there's more to Flim-Flam than meets the eye. Oh, you thought I was talking about Scrappy? Well, I do think Scrappy gets a bit more hate than he deserves. I'm actually talking about a character statistically more hated than Scrappy. He just doesn't get as much negative attention due to the fact that he's only featured in 13 episodes in a movie. Okay, let's back up. First off, who is Flim-Flam? In 1985, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo aired as the 7th incarnation of the Scooby-Doo franchise. The series centered around the gang encountering and recapturing the 13 evil spirits Shaggy and Scooby accidentally released in the first episode. However, this incarnation cut Velma and Fred and replaced them with a few new characters who tag along on their adventures. The full gang consists of Shaggy, Scooby, Daphne, Scrappy, Vincent Van Ghoul, and, the subject of this video, Flim-Flam. The series ended after one season due to budget problems, but the premise would later return in the 2019 movie Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost. While I have plenty of thoughts on both the movie and the series, those will have to be their own videos, maybe. Today's focus is
the one, the only
Flim-Flam. Keep in mind I'll be talking about the Flim-Flam from the series, not the movie, as that's his first and most prominent, as well as most hated, appearance. Now that we know where Flim-Flam comes from, let's dive into his personality. In short, he's a child con artist who's a bit of a class clown, though I doubt he ever went to school. He's always either selling something for more than it's worth, haggling for a ridiculously cheap price, or getting the gang out of a sticky situation in the classic, but ridiculous, Scooby-Doo style. Now, he may not seem all that bad from this description, probably because I'm biased, so let's see some of the reasons why people don't like him. By far, I think the biggest problem people have with Flim-Flam is that they find him obnoxious.
Oh, come on, guys, trust me. Have I ever steered you wrong?
They don't find his jokes funny, and as a result, they're left feeling bitter instead of entertained. Flim-Flam is nothing if not flamboyant, and that's a trait not everyone can tolerate in a preteen character. They even find his voice annoying, which is highly subjective because I find his voice rather soothing. Yeah, okay, I admit he can be a little annoying at times, but aren't we all? It's one of the flaws of his character that's an integral part to understanding him as a whole, and I can accept that, because I admittedly used to be like that when I was younger. Critics also find his character redundant, complaining that he's just another Scrappy. And while Scrappy and Flim-Flam do share a lot of characteristics, they're two separate individuals with different quirks and approaches to problems. For instance, Scrappy's first instinct is to punch his way out of a problem, while Flim-Flam's weapon of choice is charm. Plus, the same could be said about Shaggy and Scooby, since both of them are cowards obsessed with food. Yet somehow people don't find them redundant? It's all a matter of perspective, and if you're expecting a perfect balance of characters, you're gonna be disappointed, because, spoiler alert, this is a cartoon made for children. Not to say that children's cartoons can't be good, but you can't always expect perfection from a show whose target audience is in diapers. This next point may seem a little out of place, but I can see where people would get the idea. To some, Flim-Flam's character shares too much resemblance to a Mary Sue. Now, if you don't know what a Mary Sue is, it's basically a character that is too unrealistic to be likable, usually perfect with everything coming to them easily. Even though Flim-Flam may possess some of these qualities, I don't believe he qualifies to be considered a Mary Sue. Sure, at a glance it may look like everything comes easily to him, but his plans backfire just as much as they succeed. Is he cocky?
Was there ever any doubt?
Yeah, but most preteens are. Is he annoying? Yeah, but humor is highly subjective. Is he a Mary Sue? No, I don't think so. Because unlike Mary Sue's, he has successes and failures and flaws and virtues. Because he's human, just like us. Okay, so now that we've covered why people don't like him, let me explain why I do like him, since that is the title of the video. Number 1, he's smart. Let's be honest here, a lot of Scooby-Doo characters, whether pro or antagonist, are just stupid. When watching Scooby-Doo, we all expect that as part of the cartoony nonsense that makes the show entertaining. But take this scene, for example, where the gang is trying to protect Vincent while he's under Nakara's love spell. Bogle and Weird come in disguised as maids and attempt to abduct Vincent by saying they need to clean the sheets. Any other character, Shaggy and Scooby, I'd expect to fall for this, or at least not pick up on it right away, but not Flim-Flam. He plays along only to oust the goats and keep Vincent safe in the end. In other cases, his background as a con artist helps him sniff out potential traps and avoid them.
I think we need to keep a close eye on them.
He's also a great improviser and a quick thinker, never short of some kind of silly quip to buy the gang some time.
And besides, it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, he may be a little annoying, but you can't deny he's useful. Number 2, he's funny. I admit that Flim-Flam's humor may not be for everyone, but I simply find it hilarious.
It's a 1924 Conestoga station wagon, incomplete with no wheels or engine.
Not to mention he's a master roaster.
So, where is everybody? They knew I was coming.
Maybe that's why nobody's here.
In this respect, I think it's a lot like Cat Noir and Miraculous Ladybug. Some people may find his puns funny while others just roll their eyes, and the repetition can annoy people, which is understandable. But you can't expect everyone to like the same things or laugh at the same jokes, and a lot of it has to do with personal preference. And honestly, he's so smart but so stupid that I bumped the mic!
Yay! Oops! Mayday, Mayday! Mother's Day, Flag Day, Doris Day!
Number 3, he's sweet. I feel like this is one of Flim-Flam's most overlooked attributes. On the surface, he may seem like some kind of goofy jerk, but he has a lot of touching moments that they're often hidden in a heavy dose of comedy. Take this scene from episode 6, where Scooby's scared out of his mind and basically having a mental breakdown. Flim-Flam reaches out to him and tries to help Scooby get the ghost off his mind by distracting him, which actually does help Scooby feel better for the moment. Flim-Flam is even the one who helps Scooby overcome his fear, albeit by a questionable method.
When I snap my fingers, you're going to wake up feeling wonderfully calm.
I've found that a lot of people who jump on the Flim-hating express haven't even seen the full series, which is a shame because they miss out on all these moments that show little Flimmy's more than just a scrappy clone. He's a character with flaws for sure, but also a sweetheart and a willingness to help others. Number 4, he's loyal. No matter how sticky the situation is, Flim-Flam never abandons his friends. Well, except for in that one episode where he ran away and joined the circus, but that had more to do with previous circus dude brainwashing everyone with pretty calliope music. He's always up to the task of finding the gang a way out of their jam, and, by strange Scooby-Doo logic, it usually always works. While these scenarios can be entertaining to watch on their own, it also reflects a deeper facet of Flim-Flam's nature, showing that he never abandons his friends and always comes up with a creative and clever, though usually absurd, way to help them out of a bind.
I'm breaking my friends out of this bogus big top.
No! No!
Get the chest ready, guys. Oh, I hope this works, because I'm getting tired of this ringmaster gig.
Number 5, nostalgia. I'll admit, this one is pretty personal to me, but I still feel it's worth mentioning. I grew up watching the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo alongside some other older cartoons, and each of them holds a special place in my heart. And no, I'm not that old, okay? I wasn't even alive in the 1900s. My dad just never outgrew his childhood, like me. So part of the reason I love Flim-Flam so much is because I loved him as a kid, and he made me laugh back then, and he still does today. Lastly, I want to talk about my favorite Scooby-Doo character dynamic that wouldn't be possible without Flim-Flam, and that's the one between him and Vincent. These two, where do I even start? I freaking love them! To me, Vincent always seemed like a sort of surrogate father to Flim-Flam, being that Flim's an orphan with no real family or friends until he met Vincent and started rounding up live ones for him and his business. It's so funny to watch their interactions, like how Flim-Flam's always doing stupid crap and how annoyed Vincent gets, yet how he still continues to put up with him. Just take a look at some of these absolute comedic gems.
These brats don't look a thing like my Vinny.
No, but number 4 does. Hi, ya pops.
Son? I just thought since Flim-Flam is making the travel arrangements, I'd mention one little thing to him.
I'm here, Vince. What's up?
Hooray!
Yes, sir. And I'm glad to see you in such a good mood.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, you see, when we all fell off the carpet, I had a little accident with the old crystal.
Flim-Flam, how many times have I told you?
I know. Be careful with the crystal. Hundreds of times. But don't worry, Vince. Scooby and I are taking the crystal to the mystic repair shop right now.
But that's 1,000 miles from here.
I know, Vince, but I'm sure you won't mind us borrowing your magic carpet for the day, will you?
Why, of course not. You can borrow my magic carpet? Wait a minute.
I'm wearing jeans.
Flim-Flam, come back here. Flim-Flam!
Flimmy even has a nickname for Vincent that no one else is allowed to call him.
My good hands, Vince!
Mr. Van Gool to you.
What's up, Vince?
Times.
Like, how cute is that? So, there you have it. Why I love Flim-Flam. I'm not blind to his faults or the reasons why other people dislike him, but I've just learned to accept him as part of his character and enjoy the other aspects that make him so lovable to me. It makes me sad to see so many people focusing all their attention on his flaws that they miss out on all the other interesting parts of his character. So, whether you love him or hate him, I hope you can acknowledge that there are some good qualities to him. And while his humor may not be to your liking, there are those who do enjoy it. If you hate Flim-Flam, I have good news for you. You don't have to watch him. All I ask is that you don't ruin it for those of us who do. Okay, so that's a wrap for my first analysis video. Feel free to drop a comment below, just be civil, and let me know what you think. Do you love him? Hate him? Why? Insert some awesome sign-out phrase here. This outro is like the worst.